Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make are chocolate cherry muffins. So if you like chocolate, and you definitely like cherries combined together, I think you're going to like this pretty easy and quick recipe. What you want to do, and what I did ahead of time to save a little bit of time, is that you're going to take 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter and put it in a bowl. You're also going to put 2½ ounces of either bittersweet chocolate or milk chocolate. This is going to be depending on you, which one you prefer. You're also going to put a cup of milk in a bowl. And what I simply did was combine all those, put them in the bowl, and put them in a microwave till everything melted. The next thing, which is pretty important, is to let this cool down for at least 15 minutes because we're going to be whisking or beating in 2 eggs. And as you know, a hot mixture with eggs are going to make scrambled eggs. So you do want to cool it down at least, and it probably will take about 15 minutes. Okay? So again, I went ahead and did that, and this has been melted, as I mentioned, all those ingredients in the microwave, and I set it aside as I set up everything else. So I have 2 eggs that have been at room temperature, ready to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to beat 1 in at a time. That was the second one that went in. Now, if you don't want to use your stand-up mixer, you can use a whisk if you prefer. That's, again, up to you. And we're going to just set that aside for the moment. The next thing, which you're going to do in a medium size or smaller bowl, you're going to combine 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour into that bowl. You're also going to be putting in a 1/3 of a cup of unsweetened baking cocoa. Again, that's not the one that you make for hot chocolate, just unsweetened. Also, you're going to be putting in 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar into these dry ingredients. And then just start to stir them, either with a fork or a spoon, or, you know, your whisk, if that's what you prefer. You're also going to be putting in the dry ingredients baking powder, and you're going to need 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. You're also going to be putting in baking soda, and you're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And again, just stir it till it's all combined. The last dry ingredient that you're going to be using is salt, and you're going to be using 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then just stir that together. So now we do have our dry ready to go, as well as the liquid. So what you're going to do is just start combining the liquid into your dry, and you really don't have to beat it in. You just really want to mix it. You don't want to over beat these muffins, because the batter, once it bakes up, it can become dense or heavy. And you want these muffins to be moist and light. So you just really want to combine everything. Really don't want to beat them, but do make sure that you're combining all the dry with the liquid. So again, I want to make sure I'm getting to the bottom of my bowl with my beaters and working my sides. All right, and with the spatula, again, I'm just going to make sure that everything has come together, and it has, and we have this so far. All you're going to do next is that you're going to add another 2½ ounces of coarsely chopped chocolate. And again, whether you use the bittersweet or the milk chocolate, that's again your choice. And then you're just going to stir that chocolate in. I'll get rid of my hand mixer there. And you're also going to need cherries, of course. So I took 1 cup of dried cherries. Now, if you prefer sour cherries, use that. These are particular sweet cherries that I'm using, but you can use the sour cherries. The dried ones is what I'm using. And then again, just till you fold it in, till it's combined, and that the cherries and the chocolate are distributed evenly through the batter. And the batter will look like this. You're going to be getting 12 nice size rounded muffins out of this. So I've got my 12 liners in place, and what you'll want to do is either with a ice cream scoop, cookie scoop, whatever you prefer to call it, you'll want to make sure that every one of them is equal to the other, but you will get 12 out of them. Now you're going to bake these at 400 degrees, and they're probably going to take you anywhere from 14 to 18 minutes. It's really depending on your oven, and as we all know, all ovens do set up differently. Mine today actually came up within the 14, so it really does depend on that. Once you do bake them, though, let them sit on a cooling rack for at least 5 or 10 minutes for them to set up before you serve them or that type of thing. I have the muffins to show you and what they look like. I'll set that aside because I didn't need to use that large bowl. And they will turn out and look like this. And as I mentioned to you, they're going to come up beautifully high. And I'm going to unwrap one to show you how nice these muffins do come out once they're baked up. I'll just make a little room here, and I'll also grab a knife. So I'll unwrap one to show you. They come out beautifully brown on the bottom. They're very tall when they do bake up. I'll cut this in half, and I don't know whether you can see it or not, but you'll see this beautiful pieces of chocolate as well as those cherries that have been baked in. Very light, very moist. I think you're going to like this recipe, and if you do, leave a comment because I would love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.